Early morning on the Strand, London, everything appears as usual. Carriages rumble across damp cobblestones. In coffee houses, people talk in low voices. Outside tailor shop windows, passers-by stop to look at the latest fashions. This is one of London's busiest streets. Yet right above these shops, a death is unfolding. Upstairs, monkeys scream through wooden planks, zebras bray. Captive animals slam against iron bars, then comes a deep rumbling roar. It is no ordinary beast. It comes from an elephant. Horses in the street grow skittish, but Londoners are hardly surprised. For decades, these noises have come from the menagerie on the upper floor of Exeter Exchange. It housed exotic creatures from across the globe: lions, camels, monkeys, zebras, and one huge Asian elephant, Chunee. For early 19th century Londoners, these animals meant no danger. They were simply part of city life, like tavern chatter or carriage wheels on stone. People had grown used to them. Until that day, wood cracks, cages shake violently, roars turn feral. Onlookers pause, still failing to grasp what is happening. Some joke that a mischievous boy must have angered an animal. But there is no boy, no prank. Only an elephant pushed past breaking point. On the afternoon of March 1 Street, 18-6, keepers lost all control. Chunee slammed against his enclosure. The whole building shook. Carpenters refused to enter, terrified he would break free and destroy the structure. Owner Edward Cross made his terrible choice. Chunee must die. Yet no one knew how to kill an elephant, least of all inside a central London building. They tried poison 3 times. It did not kill him, it only brought more agony and rage. Cross called in the army. Soldiers with muskets marched from Somerset House, their target the elephant upstairs. The first shot rang out, pedestrians froze, a second, a third, crowds gathered. They understood at last, this was no show. It was a public execution. Gunfire filled the room with smoke for 90 minutes, until silence fell. When soldiers entered, Chunee lay dead on the floor. The magnificent creature that had amazed London bore 152 bullet wounds. To offset financial losses, the menagerie held a special night opening. Londoners paid admission. By gas lamplight, they stared at the body of the elephant that had once entertained them. Many realized more than an elephant had died, and old age was ending. The tragedy began 16 years earlier. In 1810 in Bengal, the young male Asian elephant Chunee was captured and shipped to Britain by the East India Company. To colonists, he was a trophy of empire. To Chunee, it meant permanent separation from his forest and his own kind. For thousands of years, elephants stood as symbols of power and wealth. Rulers in ancient Egypt, Southeast Asia, and medieval Europe built menageries to display exotic beasts. These collections were not for science or conservation. They existed to flaunt what only the powerful could own. Like the fabled white elephant, these creatures were prestigious yet ruinously costly. Animals themselves were living property, gifted and traded between nobles. In London, Chunee became a stage performer at Covent Garden. Clever and dexterous, he could pick up objects and take coins. Even Lord Byron marveled at him. But the theater was not for him. Grown restless and fearful of performances, his stage career ended. He was sent to Exeter Exchange Menagerie to live out his days as a paid exhibit. Conditions there were cramped and foul. Visitors shouted, banged cages, and teased animals for amusement. By around 1820, Chunee had doubled in size. The upstairs room could no longer hold him. In the wild, male elephants can move away during their yearly must cycle to release tension. Locked in a cage, Chunee had nowhere to go. Injuries from thrashing, combined with infected tusks, created a vicious cycle of pain and fury. Even after he killed a keeper in November 1825, Chunee was kept alive. He was the menagerie's biggest draw. Profit outweighed safety. Only when the building faced collapse did owners choose to eliminate the problem instead of solving it. Chunee's death shocked Britain. Letters filled the Times, poems and plays told his story. For the first time on a large scale, people questioned whether humans ought to imprison wild animals merely for entertainment. This tragedy helped drive the birth of modern zoos. Back in 1795, Paris's Jardin des Plantes had begun studying captive animals scientifically. In 1826, the very year Chunee died, the Zoological Society of London was founded. Regent's Park Zoo opened years later, admitting the public in 1847 as one of the world's first modern zoos. Animals were no longer mere trophies. They became subjects for observation and learning. Early zoos still had many flaws, yet the core purpose had shifted. Over the next 2 centuries, human understanding kept evolving. Large animal shows declined. Zoos focused increasingly on breeding endangered species. In 2012, London moved its elephants out of the city to more suitable open-air grounds. Debate over zoo ethics continues today. Some argue no man-made space can truly replicate a forest. Highly intelligent beings always suffer in confinement. Others defend zoos for conservation work, helping city dwellers connect with species on the brink of extinction. Chunee's story offers no simple answer. It is a brutal tragedy, and also a moment of human awakening. On March 1, 1886, Londoners thought they watched one elephant die. In truth, an era was passing, the age when nature could be seized. Living beings treated as exhibits and animals regarded only as symbols of wealth. Humanity did not turn kind overnight after Chunee fell, but we began to ask a vital question: if a living creature can truly feel pain, does it not deserve the right to be treated with respect?